Hi, everybody. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Christine. Just trying to take a Tylenol. Got a little bit of a headache. Hold on 1 second. Hi, Rebecca. All right. Hi, Chris. Good to see you again. Let's see if I can switch back over here. Do I get this and do the banner? Oh my God. Okay. Hide that. Hide that. Boom, check it. Here we go, everybody. Hi, y'all. Hi. Now, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hope you can hear me and everything. Was having a little bit of internet trouble just to add to the day, right? Yeah. So yeah, I did a TikTok today. Card of the day. I initially started out in the downtown little area, right? Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. It was the Give Back card. It was from the Whispers of Healing deck. And I had to do like 2 different takes of it because, yet again, anytime I go to just use Facebook, like straight up Facebook, what is with it? Every time I log on, I'm looking at a completely different platform. Like, it's just, the layout is completely different. And I was like, what? Okay. So, yeah, I got the snuffles, the allergies. I am the allergy queen, okay? I was driving with my windows down because it was so nice out and I had to do some errands, and it seems that everybody that didn't have their leaves picked up by the side of the road, you know how everybody just kind of puts them in bags and stuff. Well, the lazy ones will just sit them by the road. Well, today it was like, oh, it's so sunny, let's mow them. So I had my windows down. They're mowing, you know, using their lawn mowers, and it's like, you know, out into, oh my God. So Rachel's got a bit of a sinus headache and a sinus issue, but it's all good. It's all good, everybody. So with the Give Back card, right? First off, Whispers of Healing, the Oracle deck. That Oracle deck, as you know, if you've tuned in before, right, is all about kind of like that self-care, what we need to focus on with our personal energy, right? And like, you know, what's best for us in that specific moment in time. And for today, I did it for like the general theme of things because everybody is panicking. And everybody, I've had like readers even panicking. And because, you know, maybe you've heard, I'm just going to tap onto a couple things here because I'm not going to dive into it, right? Because I do not want to panic anybody else. So whatever. But there's a lot of talk going on about Yule, which is also the winter solstice. I did briefly bring it up whenever that was, a couple days ago. Blur, right? And I did refer to it as Yule, and there was a couple questions about what's Yule, you know. But there's some kind of conjunction and all this, and breathe, everybody. Breathe. Because it's like I said in my TikTok, and it's like I said when I just did that, 10-minute live on Facebook. If you are into all this, right? Cards, palmistry, all that kind of stuff, right? More often than not, those people are empaths, varying degrees, varying types of empaths, right? And so you have to understand as an empath that you have your own stuff that you deal with. Hi, Kathleen. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. So as an empath, you have your own stuff, right? Because you're living your own life. Your energy is existing, right? You have your own battles, your own struggles. But you are also what's classified as, and this is not an insult, this is an actual classification for what the empath personality is. Okay, and person is a highly sensitive person. I say sensitive in quotes, meaning that you sense everything, right? So if you're just going through your own stuff and then you have to go, out and about, and you have to go to the store, the bank, the whatever, and you're turning on the news and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're just trying to interact with society, you are also just waking up and picking up on everybody else's anxiety and everybody else's struggles. Because we're all sponges. I'm an empath, okay? Duh, right? I'm an empath, right? Now, there's only so much that a sponge can hold before it has to be wrung out, right? You have to wring it out, right? And that takes a lot of effort. Truly, it does. And you have to start over. Well, what I mean by that is pay attention to your boundaries. And if you feel that there is no way that you can create a boundary with anything or anyone, and what you have to do in your day-to-day right now, given the general circumstances, whether they be on a spiritual sense, astrological, just your day-to-day, black and white, non-gray, right? Just the 9 to 5 kind of stuff, then the card for the day said give back. So my suggestion was that the first thing that popped into my head when I saw it, that card has a lot of imagery, and unfortunately the cards are in another part of my apartment. But that particular card has to do with third eye and crown chakra, the coloring on it, right? So it's a very spiritually oriented card. And it shows family life. It shows people having a meal. It shows people enjoying each other, like parents and children, grandparents, etc. Memories being formed, right? Also shows a peacock for prosperity and also for protection. So first and only thing that really went flying through my head was give back. That peacock kind of just said it all for me. The prosperity that you have, and yes, you do have prosperity. You do. You do. It's about your point of view. Okay? And if you do go to the store, if you go to the bank, if you go wherever, and you see somebody, and I spouted this out on Facebook Live today, and I stand by it. There are a lot of people that are struggling right now, and we're all having it bad in some way or another, right? Some are quiet, some aren't so quiet about it. And those things that people are trying to purchase at stores with dignity and respect, right? Using whatever kind of government aid, government assistance, right? Things that are non-perishable, such as personal hygiene, household products, things like that, they are not covered through government aid. Please, please, let somebody, and I don't know who it was for. I don't know if anybody that saw that today was going to the store or what was going on. But if you feel it in your heart and you see and you sense, because y'all are empaths, right? And if you sense that there is somebody who is looking and counting and adding everything up, just pull part of their order aside and say, I got this. That is you actually working with your prosperity, not just giving it back, paying it forward, and doing all that, but that is you being a good human. That is you being selfless. That is you showing that person that may not know when their next meal is going to be, right? Or how they're going to buy, God forbid, and I'll say it, toilet paper, right? They will feel such relief, but do it in such a way that there is dignity about it. Don't ever, ever want a thank you, and do not ever take a thank you. Just do it. The selfless act. The selfless act. The selfless attempt is the most humane. And this is where I also said, and this is quite a soapbox, but I said I got a lot to talk about, people. Now, I did, use the Birth of Venus and the little ad, the graphic I made for tonight, right? Now, if you know me personally, you know that artist, Botticelli, has a lot of weight with me, right? I really respect Botticelli. But it also is wrapped and twisted around a time in my life when I was thoroughly into the following line, which was, to thine own self be true. So this is where we're going to spiral back around a little bit. And I didn't say circle, I said spiral, y'all. So hang in there, buckle up. As you know, buckle up, okay? Now, so, at this point in time, I was going to my first college. I was heavy into Shakespeare, philosophy, and all kinds of different things. And I was into art probably from the age of 2. In all actuality, I was heavy into art. And Botticelli was one of my go-tos. And to thine own self be true is from Hamlet. You probably all know that, right? And no, Hamlet did not say that. Who said that was actually Polonius. Yeah, the guy that Hamlet killed on accident. And then because of that, everything just kind of spiraled out of control. Okay? Now, Polonius wasn't the best of guys. He's very Machiavellian, right? Let's pull this string, see what happens, right? Let's tell this person this thing. Let's pull this string over here, see what happens in between. See how much, I will get what I want, right? But the story of Hamlet always hung in there with me and is ingrained in me. And it came flying into my head over and over today. And that's part of the reason why I went driving, just to kind of clear my head too, is that to thine own self be true. Now, I'm going to actually attempt this. So hold on 1 second. You'll be able to see me, but I will not be able to see you. So, yeah, now I'm scared. You guys can see me, but I can't see you. I am going to actually give you here, I'm back, y'all. The line from Polonius's little soliloquy here. And is there wisdom in it? Yeah, I entered it in over there. Read it. Let it sink in. Why am I in a roundabout way throwing so much at you? Because I have so much to say. And I have a headache. So everything's disjointed, everybody. I'm sorry. Just hang in there. Buckle up. Okay. Now, when it comes to letting people have dignity and actually treating people with respect, you have to treat people the way you would want to be treated, right? Think about that. So this is why I always found Hamlet's story to be so poignant. This is why I always found Botticelli's story to be so poignant and kind of bizarrely. And if Amy was here, well, she's not. So what shenanigans can I possibly get into tonight, right? God help us. Are any of you familiar with Botticelli and his model, Simonetta? A lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't. And am I going to get to cards? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get to cards because I know some of you are like, oh my God, man, I want a freaking card, right? Well, yeah, I'm going to get to cards, but you're also going to hear from me, okay? So, okay. Botticelli, Birth of Venus. Probably one of the most famous paintings of Botticelli, right? Now, Venus herself is a model named Simonetta, okay? Now, Simonetta, she was supposedly the beauty, right? She was the go-to model. She was, and there was all this conjecture about her life, right? She was basically the face that launched probably 1,000 paintings back around Botticelli's time. And Botticelli fell in love with her. Okay? Now, the thing is that for a very long time, there was a running story. I'll say story, but for a while it was supposed to be truth. Okay? That She was married. Did she or didn't she actually have an affair with Botticelli? We don't know, right? But who was also around then? The Medicis. Now, the Medicis, as we know, very powerful patron family of Italy, right? Now, one of the Medicis just so happened to think that Simonetta was absolutely beautiful. Wooed her to no end, right? And now keep in mind, this was the story going around in the art circles about 30 years ago, okay? So Simonetta, she basically told this Medici, look, no. Well, then she ended up dying. She passed away within maybe a few days after that, as she was found in the town, in the center of town at the fountain. Now, so of course everybody's like, oh, the Medici did it, right? The Medici did it because, well, they had the money, they had the means, etc., right? And she thwarted him and all this stuff, right? Well, Botticelli, actually, everybody, I think it's called the Four Seasons, or it's the one that shows the wind coming from the north and spring, and it has basically 4 different images of her. She was his muse, right? He did that entire painting, that entire tableau, right? From memory, from sketches of her. And after he was done, after he finished painting that is when all of his paintings, he stopped painting in these beautiful tones because his muse was gone. Beauty was gone for him. And because of who he was in society versus who they were in society, he did not have a voice to vocalize, how wrong they were and to get any kind of retribution or anything for her, for what had happened, right? So that's when he started painting inmates and people that were, well, criminals, things like that. Everything was very, very dark. And that's what he did the rest of his life. And that was the story of Simonetta. Yes, she was married. Botticelli loved her. And he spent the rest of his life with drawings of her and died alone. So, very romantic in some bizarre way, right? And I just so happened to look up some of this information again today, and they're changing all of it, which I find interesting. And I won't get into why. I think they're changing all of these facets of what happened to Simonetta. But let's just say I think it's because the Medicis, I said that on the internet. Woo! All right. Let's see what happens. There's no fountain around here, but there is like a little gazebo, everybody, okay? Now, and as with Hamlet, right? The story of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. We know how Polonius dies. He does not mean to actually kill Polonius. What he did was an act of anger, and he thought it was somebody else behind the curtain in his mother's chamber. Gertrude, the Queen of Denmark, was his mother. And because of his active impulse, things spiraled out of control. And Ophelia did what she did. Laertes happened to him, right? And to the very punishing end of Hamlet, well, yeah, we know what happened there. Now, Polonius, through all this, he wasn't a great guy. He wasn't. As I said, he was very Machiavellian, right? And also not very honorable, right? But yet, how many hundreds of years later, this above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season, this in thee. Those are wise words. So to thine own self be true throughout all of this stress. Pay each and every one of us, each other, and yourself with respect. Be true to you. Be true to a fault, as they say. And you can't go wrong. You can't. Will it cause some anguish at some point? Probably. I can tell you a few stories. But live honorably. Live respectfully. Treat others with respect that they deserve, especially if you do not know them. Okay? Do not judge others based on the things that you hear about them. And I'm going to get off my soapbox. Because Amy, if she were here, she'd probably be like, what are you doing? I'm surprised she hasn't swarmed in already. But she's too busy looking on TikTok. She just like sent something through my phone. She's gone down quite a rabbit hole herself. So everybody, just to remind you, I do actually have that paid 3 to 4 card intensive event, meaning intensive in that it's a thorough reading. It's not just pull a card and let's talk about it for 5 minutes. It is a full spread reading event, semi-private, meaning it's only open to people that have actually purchased access, and everyone that purchases access gets a reading. And it's not, on my feed. It's not so that everybody can actually see it. It's so that it's just for you. You can have access to it whenever you want. And that is available under my events tab. And that is the graphic for it. So please check it out. It's $10. It is on, let's see, 2 days from now. Ooh-wee. All right. Happy I thought of that, right? I'm bad at this stuff. And it won't be on YouTube or anything. It will be through Facebook only. So fun times. Let me get back to the comments. You guys are like, shut up, Rachel. But please promise me, please, that when you start hearing other spiritualists, readers start conjecturing about what's ahead, for like December and everything that's up in the air right now, remember your feet are on the ground. And just to be you, to thine own self be true. Listen to what your soul needs are. Listen to it. Treat other people with respect. I also want to say keep your nose clean. You know what I mean? Like just stay in your lane. Forge ahead. Because and if my sister was on here, and not going through TikTok, the rabbit hole of TikTok. She needs to hear that too. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. Now, anybody that just clicked on the thing for Monday for the full moon and the penumbral eclipse, right? Anybody that just clicked that they were going, that does not mean that you have access. So you actually have to click on purchase access to go ahead and do it. And then you'll get a link and all this other stuff like through Facebook when I actually start to go live. And tonight I have the tarot deck, and it is the Guardian of the Night tarot, which, as you know, I've been working with over the course of like the past, I don't know, a month now maybe, right, everybody? Good, Christine. Look forward to seeing you there. Now, let's see here. Loretta, you're getting a card if you're still here after all my tangential rants. You know, I was married at one point in my life. Thank God that's done and over with. But I actually was overheard saying, and then, okay, granted, this is a weird thing to know, right? But I know the Old English, or is it the Middle English? Whatever. It's old, whatever, right? Version of the Canterbury Tales, the prologue. And I started reciting it to a couple people. And I was like, and this is how it goes, right? So for all y'all that think I'm going to do some kind of bizarre incantation, that's not what it is, all right, at all. It's the actual, this is how they spoke back then. And this is the beginning of the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, okay? So it's like, when the April with the shore is suita, the drocht of March hath pierced to the ruta, and battered ever vena is swish the curve, which vertu engendre is the fleur. I can go on from there, right? But let's just say that my in-laws were very religious. Didn't go over very well. And I'm like, okay. All right, I'll shut up. To thine own self be true. If you have it in your heart to say something, say it. If you have it in your heart to say something, say it. Or forever hold your peace. Live by it. Fight by it. Let it guide you. Time is now. Time's upon us. Okay. And what does all that mean? Because I see Jennifer saying, oh no. Yeah. When the April with the shore suita, the drocht of March hath pierced to the ruta. It's just talking about April, right? Right? And the shoots, meaning the roots of the flowers and stuff, start to grow and come out of the ground, and and the rains of spring actually start to drench the roots so that there's growth, etc. That's what the prologue is all about. Whatever, setting up like the framework for all the following stories, because there are a bunch of little stories in it. Loretta, you still here? Oh my God, what is on my radio? Loretta, you're getting a card, whether you want one or not. See, I've been babbling for 34 minutes. No wonder you guys are quiet. Loretta, You got the 8 of Wands, you fiery thing, you. Look at this. Throwing everything you have at it. Everything. Everything. And look at you. I want to say shucking and jiving as I don't know, but those are the words that were in my head. Basically trying to like go around the things that the actual rods or wands that are actually being thrown through the sky, right? Going around them, trying to find your way through all of that potential, well, hazards, right? I mean, if things are getting thrown at you, this kind of hazardous, right? So another thing I want to show you, though, is that we have a lot of earthiness here. So if this hawk is you, right, you have that strength of a hawk. You can just swoop in. And I also feel like you could just, well, hawks do, you know, if there are peeps, you know, little chickens, the smaller the animal. And if you're out on a farm and the hawks decide, hey, I'm hungry, you better look out. You better look out. So, yeah, you have the fierceness of this hawk. And no matter all the stuff that's being thrown at you, you are finding your way around it to get to the core of what needs to be done. This is your strength. And there's also a very, very spiritual sense to it. And what I say is like a mothering sense because of the earthy symbolism below. And also ancestral with the snake. So this is family stuff. And no, I'm not just saying that, Loretta. Not just saying that. Because you did tell me something. But not here, somewhere else, everybody. But that is for you. Okay. So. Okay. Jennifer, would you like a card? How was your Saturday, everybody? How'd you spend your Saturday? Everybody doing okay? Okay. Jennifer, you're getting a card. Just chilling out. Well, they keep changing the history of it, Kathleen, which I find very upsetting. And also kind of parallels what's going on in the world right now. Those that have and those that do not, you know. Who has the voice, who has the right to have a voice, and who does not. Okay. Deep. Sorry. I'm in a weird mood. I have been lately. It's in the this is shadow time for me. Anything that has to do with autumn is shadow time. So, back to you, Jennifer. Let's get a card, huh? I feel like a pulse with this card. Huh. Also like a puffiness. It's weird. Wonder what it is. Jennifer, what card did you get? Can't make this up. It said puffy, right? It's a lot of feathers. Owls, puffy. Right? King of Swords for you, Jennifer. Now, the thing with this is that anytime this particular card with this particular deck pops up, you are that owl. You have the wisdom. You are the king. You are. The damage, the work that you've had to do to get to the point where you are at right now, it's in the past. But if you notice, you're actually perched on it. Like, hey, don't make me. I can if I have to. And if we look at all the poppies down here, which is for remembrance, and you hear my phone, everybody. That is actually my sister sending me TikToks from the rabbit hole. If you know what I mean by, like, you know, conspiracy theories and things like that. Instead of being over here. Whatever. She just keeps doing it. So, Jennifer, the damage has been done. Now you are in a moment of wisdom. You can sit, you can reflect on it. You have all of these memories that you can actually, I want to say, pay homage to, right? It's like, wow, I actually did that, or wow, they were actually there, and this happened with them. You know, I get a lot of like, I don't know, Jennifer. The first thing that pops in my head is it takes a village. I don't know what that means. It takes a village. But, so remember the village. I'm not talking about the village people. The YMCA. No, I mean, remember the village. What is that saying? It takes a village to raise a child or something like that. Is that how it goes? I don't know, everybody. But that is really sticking in my head right now. And since I just did say this is shadow season, right? Now, hello. Owls can't really see in the daylight. Okay? They can't. They are meant to be nocturnal. And so look into those depths. I want to say with you, I'm going to get kind of deep here again, everybody, so hang in there. Remember what I was saying, to thine own self be true. Well, that whole story is about a kingdom, isn't it? Appreciate the kingdom that you rule over. Appreciate those people that helped you along the way, and appreciate those situations where you had to raise your sword and use it, because it's brought you to this point in time where you have so much wisdom to move forward. Okay? Now, one pitfall, the type of trees these are, right? And I can't remember the name of them. I don't know. But what I do know is that the bark of them is very poisonous. So, do not fall into the trap of the, what if I had, insert something, and maybe I should have, insert something there. Because this is stuff in the past. Okay? Do not add to your angst. You are so strong. You are. Look at that weapon you have, and you are perched so elegantly on top of it. And the stars make your crown. Remember the village. Hope that helped a little bit. Hope that helped a little bit. I'm going to post this, Jennifer. Perfect. Maybe we all just need to create a journal page that says, "To thine own self be true." Oh, because it's hard. It's hard to be true to yourself, isn't it? Everybody has demands. Everybody has their own, whether they know it or not, whether they recognize it or not, everybody has their own kind of agenda, right? Their own situations that they bring to the plate. And so to be to thine own self be true takes a lot of energy, ups and downs, and you just really get that off there. But you got this. This is shadow time. This is shadow work. Do not get overwhelmed. Now, Chris, are you still here? Are those birch trees, Kathleen? I don't know. Yeah, you really do have to look deep. Okay. Because, you know, yeah, you're right, Rebecca. You really do have to look deep. And that kind of like sparked a little thing in my head right now. So buckle up again, everybody. But if you don't accept what you see as a flaw in yourself, why do you think anybody else should? So you got to get over that. All of us. All of us. We have to get over it. That's why I keep saying, to thine own self be true. Speak your peace. Speak your mind. Speak your peace. Be your biggest supporter. Okay, Chris, you're getting a card. See, you guys didn't sign up for this, did you? Oh my God. You're like, Rachel, what's going on? I don't. Well, Chris, see, with me, when I do cards, I don't like to know what's going on. But you're asking your guides to reveal what you need to release. Then this is the wrong deck for you. But we're going to do it. See what happens, okay? Wow. That's good, Chris. That's good. See, what I'm talking about over here is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but Chris actually said this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Chris, I'm getting all kinds of weird sensations with the. I just have my hands on top of the deck, right? And that's when I kind of get, I don't know, the weirdness that is me. I get kind of feelings off of the cards, right? How you doing, Chris? Now you're like, what? No, I don't mean to scare. I don't mean to scare you. That's not what I meant. I'm kind of joking with you. What I mean is there any kind of like, I kind of want to say like some kind of too much salt or something, like you having too much salt. Something like, it's weird. You're probably like, what, Rachel? You have lost your mind. Oh. This has nothing to do with salt, Chris. But you got the Emperor. This is my first time seeing this card in this deck. Look at how beautiful it is. Wow. So you're going through change. That's what the 555 is about. With you, Chris, I also want to say that you need, if you're seeing fives a lot, recognize, man, it just came right in my head and right, poof, right out. All right, let's try to reel that in. Okay, so with a 5, right? Obviously, you got a lot of change. You got love, archangel stuff happening, right? But I also want to tell you that understand that you have more bounty. I'm not talking about the paper towels. Than you may be aware of, and do not be afraid to use what you need to use. Which is why we go into the Emperor. Look at you. Look at you on that throne. Now, I'm also going to point out a few things here. We have this mountain, but we also have this ram. That is a ram, everybody. That's not just a goat, okay? It's got the, the thingies, right? So it can climb over that terrain. It can. So no matter where you go as an owl, wherever you put your throne, whatever you decide to call your kingdom, it can find you. But the Emperor, as you know, is a major arcana card. With major arcana cards come major change, a life event change. And you have been seeing 5s. Change. You need to change your perspective about the, I want to say, the events that seem to keep following you around. It's like no matter where you go, it's just right there, right? Because this ramp, that mountainous terrain, that's its home. That's its go-to, right? The harder it is, they will find a way to the top. They will find their way to food. They will find their way. Now, yes, do you have this weapon? Yeah. And if you notice, though, as the Emperor, you're not holding it at the hilt, right? Meaning back here at the handle, right? Whichever, right back here, right? You are actually like potentially cutting yourself to make sure that you are ready to defend your kingdom. Look at it. That's not good. That's the downfall. Be aware. Be aware. Change your perspective of those situations and those events that keep popping up around you. Are they as bad as they might seem. This is where I want to tell you, Chris, when it comes to change, I often tell my clients that you can either go kicking and screaming and scratching and clawing, or you can just be like, okay, whatever, just do it. Hit me with a punch. Do it. Just do it. Get it over with now. Because then it's done. Are you the Emperor? Yeah, but you're also very early in the Major Arcana deck. So this is the tiny but significant beginnings of change. Hang in there. Hang in there. I don't know, Chris, are you familiar with the band Depeche Mode? I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan. And the imagery that pops up in my head with this card is of the video for Enjoy the Silence, and how the lead singer, he's portraying himself as a king, right? And he has a fold-up chair, and he's taking it to different areas. You know, one's a beach, one's on top of a snow-covered mountain, and he's just setting it up, and then he just sits down and he just looks. So he's covering all different types of ground to find comfort, what he thinks will be best for him, his comfort, his home, his kingdom. Be your own kingdom. Face it. Face the shadows. Face the fear. And that sword has two sides, Chris. Don't cut yourself. That's right. Don't cut yourself trying to prevent it. And I also want to say, don't rub salt into your own wounds. Weird. I don't know. Maybe that's what the saltiness is about. I don't know. Do you drink a lot of soda, Chris, or anything? Odd. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to post this. You're welcome, Chris. Well, without adversity, there is no true growth. Think of it that way. So what are you going to do? Some of us, it makes us feel better to go kicking and screaming. I'm a kicking and screamer. I do. I kick and scream. My God, do I. But as of late, in my own shadow work, I have been trying to be like, okay, this is it, you know? Face that reality. Do it. Do it with grace. Do it with dignity. Be easy on yourself. Don't cut yourself out of fear. I also feel I need to tell you that. I don't even know what that means. And I do not mean it in such an extreme explanation that it might be taken as. Don't mean that. Okay, so let's look back here. Who else is still here? It's like not very many people. Okay, I'm also gonna post. Oops. Horrible typing, everybody. My tip link. I have ice. You hear my refrigerator back there shooting ice out. Sorry about that loud crash, everybody. Kathleen, you're getting a card. You okay with that? know, sometimes you're a little skittish. Okay. Mm. Yeah, hey Kathleen, have you started taking any kind of like I'll just back up. Have you been feeling a little nauseous lately or something like? Okay, here we go. This comes up a lot. This card. This deck loves to show this card, everybody. Four of Cups. Four of Cups. Now, so you're not having any kind of stomach trouble or anything? Headaches? Four of Cups. So, this is a pangolin. That is right. This is a pangolin. Now, the thing with a pangolin, you know. First off, nocturnal. Here we are, shadow season, right? Now, why? Well, first off, I got to back up. This is a pangolin. Yes, pangolin. Okay. So this is all shadowy stuff. And very atypically, the Four of Cups has that how do I I'm going to do a live here, and I'm going to throw my phone across the room because my sister will not leave me alone, everybody. So I'm sorry. Now hold up, Kathleen. Hold up. Don't jump to the COVID thing. I'm going to talk about what the imagery is in this card by itself. Okay? Now, traditionally, in the Rider-Waite deck, this has a guy sitting under a tree, and he looks really like, stern and in his thoughts, right? It's just like really in his head, and his arms are crossed. And there are 3 cups down at the bottom, right? On that card as well. And just like in this card, there is an additional cup coming from the sky. But in that one, the Rider-Waite, it's like a hand coming out of the sky holding this additional cup, being like, here, take it. Take the cup. Take the assist. Take the help, right? But he is just too far, like, in his thoughts, being angry and having an attitude attack, right? To actually see, hey, wait, there's another way of doing this. Also, with the imagery of this particular card, now, this pangolin's upside down. So, we dive into that whole what happened to Odin, right? And the Hanged Man card, right? All that happened so that why he did it to himself. I'm not going to question Norse myth, right? But he did it in order to get wisdom for his people and to come up with the runes. So he hung himself upside down on this tree. Whatever. And until this knowledge came to him, this wisdom came to him, and he actually was able to help his people, right? So my advice to you is, what are you waiting for, Kathleen? What have you hit the pause button on in your life? Because you might feel intimidated, like you don't know, like you are making the assumption that it might be doomed to failure, or you might not know enough yet about something. Because this card is here to say, take the freaking cup. There's even a meme about this card, or meme, however you want to say it. And I've brought it up in different live chats before. And it's kind of vulgar, but it's hilarious. So ask your inner self, the darkest part of who you are, that shadowy side of you, right? What do we need to feel comfortable moving forward? That's where I'm going with this. Not just jumping to COVID. Okay, good. Yeah, and look on my page, Kathleen. I actually put the meme, however you say it, on my palmistry page because it's pretty hilarious. Oh, yeah, Rebecca's saying drink the cup, drink from the cup. Yeah. Good, perfect. Rebecca, did I do a card for you? I can't remember what I'm doing. Oh my God. Rebecca, you want a card? I still feel lost salt around you, Chris, if you're still on here. I don't know what that's about. You're welcome, Kathleen. All right, Rebecca, you're getting one. Let me take a quick drink of water here. Yeah, no joke, Chris. I literally, it's just, like pulse almost. I feel your pulse. It's weird. Yeah. I'm talking to Chris when I say that. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a little bit. I don't know what it is, but I want to laugh with your card, Rebecca. Watch it be the tower or something, right? Oh God, no. If any of you know, you might not know, I do not like the tower card. I know, right? Pot, kettle, black, all that. Yeah, I hear you. But I told you, I go kicking and screaming and scratching and clawing. I'm not the one that, even though I know it's the best thing to just be like, bring it, you know, if I got to change, bring it. I am like, So when I see the Tower card, I'm like, but we're not pulling the Tower, Rebecca. Okay, we're not. We're not. It's just I'm making a very bad joke. Thank God it's not the Tower. You see how much faith I have in myself, everyone? Oh, God. But Rebecca, look at you, girl. Magician. If there is ever a time to like crack open those books and to start, I don't know, I almost feel like make the freaking recipe, you know, like it's time. It's time. This is the beginning. This is it. You have the tools. You have the know-how. This is like the $6 million man if you were showing my age now. But okay. There's so much I can say about this card, no joke. First off, I'm going to focus on the fact that you're a raccoon. Now, raccoons, as we know, they kind of like pick up bits and pieces from everywhere, don't they? They really do. They, and I also want to say here, one man's junk is another one's treasure. I don't know how that applies here, but maybe in that you find the beauty in those things that people find trivial, and you find sincerity in those things that people just kind of often discard. And that, my friend, is what makes you the magician. Because you can see the magic, you can see the beauty in all these little tiny bits and pieces that are ingredients, right? Exactly, absolutely. That when put and when brought together, all these little bits and pieces from everywhere, right? All the trash turns into treasure. This is another major arcana card. Major life change. Do it. And you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. I know you do, Rebecca. Don't even question it. The first thought that popped in your head when you saw this card and you hear me pointing this card at you, that's what you need to go ahead and follow through with. You do. You're the magician. This is your journey. You have the ability. Do it. I also want to say this is very movie and bizarre oriented evening. A lot of weird references, but Field of Dreams moment here. Build it and they will come. I want to say that with you too. This is it. It's your moment. I hope that helped. And is that opening your effing mouth a good thing or a bad thing? See, look at you being on. Good, Lisa. That's why I like to do these. So, you're welcome, Rebecca. Look at you being like all polite and saying the letters and not the actual word. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I do these things, Lisa. That's why I go off on my rants. I call these things my rants, right? My soapbox. There's bizarre bits and pieces of information that kind of filter out of all the stuff. And hopefully it just finds a home. So if you really, okay. You don't have discretion. Well, you're a raccoon. And raccoons wear that little, that little mask, right? Little thief kind of mask, a burglar mask, right? Learn discretion. Learn discretion. With the yeah. I hear you there. With the words just pop out. I got scolded over the over the course of the past couple of days. I've been scolded about my mouth. Like whatever, ever. Okay. So let's go back here. Ginger, are you still here? If you do not say yes, then I'm going to move to Lisa. I'm doing Lisa anyway, so. Okay, Ginger, you're getting a card. Let me scroll back here. Like that. What's with these major arcana cards, huh? Ginger, Justice. Look at that imagery. This is your card, Ginger. Wow. This is like, wow. I wish I could have like a mug of this card, like on the side of something, right? A sticker of it or something. Might do that for myself. So Justice, major arcana card, again, major life change. Again, what I mean by again is that we have been pulling those more than just a couple tonight, okay? With the Justice card, I'm going to show you that this bat is not facing us, meaning the observer of the card. It's facing into the moon. Okay? And look at all the rays coming out, and he's actually carrying the sword of justice. But is it level? Is it balanced? It's not. I'm going to try to hold this as like level. See, it's not. It's not balanced. So, for you, my friend, and I love your name. Now, as we see, we have that ceremonial ribbon over it, right? Like this is a remembrance kind of thing. The battle has been done. There's an agreement been made. I also feel that with this imagery, that there's also kind of like not a truce, but kind of like a bonding agreement, right? Like this is how it's going to be. So when I keep saying tonight, we can either go kicking and screaming when we have to go through change, or we can just be like, okay, whatever, bring it, do it. Okay, that's kind of what this card is about. Is it that you are going to accept what has been agreed to? Are you going to accept that as justice? Or are you going to find and go screaming into the night and kicking and screaming and clawing and scratching and being like, what the hell? This is not right. This is not right. And what this has to do with what's going on, I don't know, but there is divine intervention in this card because we have all of the trumpet flowers here and everything. We also have the clouds behind them, and the actual balance is not level. That's slightly disturbing. So, I don't think you were here in the very beginning, Ginger, when I started this whole diatribe of going on about our inner voice and being true to ourselves, right? To thine own self be true. Make peace with yourself. If you are facing something that part of you still finds to be an injustice, an uncomfortable balance, right? Listen to your needs. Speak your personal truth. Speak with and through your heart. And treat other people the way you would want to be treated. And it's hard, especially if you feel that there is this kind of, that the balance just is not level, okay? So keep fighting the good fight. I also want to say, dive into the shadows. This is shadow time. This entire deck itself has to do with shadow season, which means like autumn and autumn and winter and things where it is darker, the days are shorter, right? Because that's where we kind of go inward and we start to think about those things that we often wish we could have changed or done differently. Bats also feel and sense things differently. That's how they see. They do not have actual proper eyesight, do they? So your vision and the way you are seeing the situation is just completely different than the other people around you. Adapt. Treat them the way you would want to be treated, and things will eventually balance out. They will. It'll be a hard road to haul for a little bit. It will. But there is a divine purpose behind it. Okay. I hope that helped a little bit. Now, Lisa. Okay. And I have no idea what any of that meant, Ginger. I hope that helped in some way. And just a reminder, guys, I do have that, in-depth 3 to 4 card spread reading event on this coming Monday, and it can be found underneath my events tab on my Facebook page, which is Rachel G. Palmistry. It is $10. It is semi-private, meaning that the people that pay to actually participate, to have access to it, they're the ones that will get readings. So it's not going to be a live, open to everybody event. It's only can be seen by the people that purchase a ticket. Yeah, I think we all wish that, Ginger. Hang in there. Hang in there, okay? Now, let's see. Lisa. Lisa, your card. I hope you're still here. Oh, and to purchase access for the event on Monday for the full moon and the eclipse is $10. And that's all done through Facebook. Get the water off my hand. All right. It's really quiet tonight, isn't it? I think the Tylenol is finally kicking in. Lisa, this is a beautiful card. The star. The star. Whose path are you shining light on? I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I wanted to say that. You have so much respect. This card says so much about you. And I don't think I know you. I don't know. Seeing people in person versus seeing their names on Facebook are completely different. Okay. But wow. You carry the weight of the stars. And again, we have more poppies. More remembrance. More remembrance at the bottom here. Now, and you also have all of these stars in the antlers. Look at them. These little tiny microcosm stars in the antlers. And I just want to say, Lisa, that with this card, everything about this card, the star itself, is constantly giving. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. All right. At the shop. All right. So with this card, whose path are you shining light on? What I mean is, you know how, what are they called? Like a street light, like a pole light on a driveway, a lane, you know, so people can see where to go. You are illuminating someone's path. You are. You are. And you have so much wisdom in you. And I also want to say that with the star, you have so many like ancestors backing you up. It's like ingrained and braided in you. I don't know. You said I read your hand. I don't know if I did see that in your hand or not. But that is what this card is about. Now, since this is yet another major arcana card, everybody, this is a major change. Might not be something that you're used to, being put into that position. But people are going to look at you and be like, Lisa, where do I turn? What do I do here? And you are going to be able to pull from all the wisdom that you have in you. And you are going to be able to shine a light so that they can see again. So they can find their own path again. It's a major change. It's a major change. Be on the lookout for it. Hope that helped a little bit. Hey, Laness, I hope I'm saying your name properly. Absolutely. You can have a card. Hope you're still here. Did that help at all, Lisa? Because that's really powerful imagery. This may sound rather hokey, but I'm being told by one of my guides to tell you, Lisa, since it was deer imagery, right? That was a buck, right? Don't be caught in the headlights. Don't know. When they turn to you for advice, when they turn to you for direction, don't get caught in the headlights. So listen to your gut, listen to your instincts, meditate on it, okay? Meditate on it. The guidance is coming not just from your own experience, but from your family, your ancestors, your friends that are on the other side. And I'm not saying the guidance through me, I mean the guidance that you will be using in this situation. Hope that helped. So, Liness, are you still here? Theme song in my head. Bueller. I might not be saying the name right. I'm horrible at this, so you gotta give me a pass on that. Okay, yeah. Well, contact me outside of here if you would like to have just a card pulled. Okay, I'm going to move to Rosette. Rosette, are you still here? Okay, perfect. You and my friend are getting a card. Rosette, this is going to sound really weird. Your name doesn't look familiar to me, like you've ever been in one of my lives before. But have you ever done any kind of like Ancestry.com on yourself? I think you'd find it really, really interesting. Okay, you know what I mean? Like do that kind of research. Why? Because I'm picking up on a lot of strange, like, okay, you have? All right. Okay. All right. Told you, I pick up things on the cards. I don't know. All these major cards. Major Arcana. What'd we get? Temperance. What? So, since this is my first time seeing this particular card in this particular deck, I'm going to take a quick look. Wow, there's a lot going on in this card, Rosette. Oh, wow. So what do you have planned on the full moon? I think you know what I'm talking about. Are you focusing on any kind of prosperity? Luck is on your side. And I also get the... Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to post what she said there. Yeah. Now, Temperance card. No. Okay. Well, first off, the frog. This must be why I was picking up on like a family bloodline ancestral kind of thing with you. And I don't know if you will, it's an obscure kind of parallel here, but a long time ago, I heard, this is like in, I don't know, the 80s, 70s, 80s, right? That the scientists were saying that, you know, when the bees start to die out, that's not actually when humanity is going to be in trouble. It's when the frogs and the toads start to die out. Now, why is that? Listen, people, it's like 30 years ago, okay? So I was more like, what? Right? When I heard it. But with your family, I feel like if there was ever any point in time when you wanted to ask your family for any kind of like spiritual advice on the other side, this is going to sound really weird because I don't know what you're into, but I'm kind of getting this weird vibe, right? Given the fact that we have this chalice, we also have a feather here, we also have a full moon, okay? Now, frogs are known as being all about prosperity and luck when it comes to symbols. And I get the feeling that in your lifeline, that spirituality, empathy, and I also get the feeling that you have a gift. So perhaps you have a lot of very vivid dreams. Perhaps you just kind of know certain things that you don't really have an explanation for. Well, that's because your family line is so braided into you, into the network that is you, that it's down to you, Rosette. That's just how important you are in the whole scheme of things. That's why I brought that whole reference of what the scientists said when I was little. Now the Temperance card. Temperance is also known as, has all different kinds of names, right? But for you, I really think that you need to dive into your spiritual side. I don't know what you know. Let me see what you're saying here. Yeah, that's how it always is. That's how it always is, Rosette. Now, okay, so I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are. So let me just tell you. When you have a feather, and you have this cup over here, right? What do cups or chalices hold? Well, depends on the spirituality behind it, right? But for sake of argument, we're going to say it holds a liquid. And if it were water, it's emotions, right? And as we see, part of this cup is not in the water. So you have not fully allowed yourself to go under the water, into the emotions, into this kind of psychic gift that you have, that you know you have, and you even said you have, okay? Yeah, I'm the same way. I get it. Now is the time to act upon it. If there was ever a time for you to work on this side of you, this is it. This is totally it. The frost moon, aka beaver moon, which is on the 30th, right? Luck is on your side. You are super important. You are. And I don't know who it is in your bloodline, but man, they got a wallop of, yeah. Yeah. And look at you clinging to that rock. You're trying to stay above it. You're trying to stay above it. You're going to be okay. Do it in baby steps, though. Your grandmother? Okay. All right. This is getting really interesting now. Okay. Yeah, grandmothers have a way of doing that. Yeah. Now, okay. So obviously you are Claire. You're claircognizant, right? I don't know. You probably are several other Claires if you're familiar with that term, right? What a Claire is. Obviously, you are an empath. This is like lineage stuff. I do not know what your grandmother was into, but wow. Okay. Baby steps. This is what I am being told to tell you is baby steps. Meaning you got your toe in, your cup's part way in. You can't cling to that rock forever. It's almost like do what you were born to do. That's what's like being yelled in my head. Do what you were born to do. Do what you came here to do. If that even makes sense. And this is where I'm going around right back to the beginning, because Rosette, I know you weren't here, okay, when I went off on this bizarre tangent and put everybody through living hell when they were forced to listen to me go off about Botticelli and Hamlet. I know, right? But to thine own self be true. Speak with your heart. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Across the board. It's not an easy life. It's not. Trust me on that. But that is the respectable thing to do. That is the dignified thing to do. And your soul and every other soul around you deserves it. And so does, and I hate to say this, Rosette, because I don't know what your connection, like how you feel about your grandmother, but your grandmother deserves that respect too. And it's like, speak now or forever hold your peace. She's not going to force you into that water, but let me tell you, you're going to drop into it. And then what are you going to do? So do your research, but do baby steps. Baby step it. Okay? I mean, a little bit at a time. Well, thank you, Rebecca, because to be honest with you, I don't even remember everything that I was saying. And why don't I remember everything I was saying? Because I was like trying to mesh it all together and not get into trouble. Not get into a Facebook jail like my sister always gets put into. So anyway, Rosette. Now this weekend is perfect. Okay. We do have full moon on Monday. Light a candle, white candle, right? And if you also want to grab a feather, do it. I don't know what even the feather has, but I swear it has something to do with your grandmother. Okay, I don't know what spirituality of system of beliefs she was in, but you know, to each their own. And you got some shoes to fill. No pressure. No pressure. Okay. So I hope that helped a little bit. Yeah, I hear you, Rosette, about your love life. Oh. See, I'm a loner. Yeah. I'm a loner. So, okay. Perfect. Keep in touch. Let me know how it goes. Okay. Follow my Facebook. I do these kinds of things randomly all the time. Okay. So, because I want to see where you're going in your new shoes. The shoes, once you decide to actually pull them all the way on and walk in them. Okay. Yeah, I know that's a bizarre reference, but hey, that's exactly what was in my head. So everybody, thanks for putting up with me. Again, this be a pain in the ultimate ass. I'm going to put my called. There we go. Gonna be a long walk. That is a link to my tip jar, my virtual tip jar. Please don't forget to like and share. I'm gonna put all this crap up on the screen again. Hope I can get it down. And everybody, I do actually have a website. Where is it? What is going on? I did add a lot more sage bundles, a lot of different crystals, and I am working on some of my Reiki, moon, and crystal charged candles. And as always, everything is Reiki charged and smudged, okay, before I even do anything with them or send them out, which I think is very effective because you just don't know where certain things have been. So check it out. It's my website. If you're in the UK, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Because there's some issue about the postal code versus the no, Rebecca, I did not get the car fresheners on there. And I also made I made solid perfumes, like really super moisturizing, raw shea butter, sunflower oil, and beeswax, and crystal charged and Reiki charged solid perfumes too. And I haven't even put them on there. I am a one-woman show. Okay, I'm a one-woman operation, everybody. So, but yeah, those car fresheners have been like months now, right? You're right. Thanks for reminding me, Rebecca. I'm not bad. I'm bad at this. See, now you understand why my sister's usually on here like cracking the whip, right? So, leave a tip if you like. And stop by on Monday. Take care of yourselves, all right? As always, like, follow, do whatever you got to do. Keep in touch with me if you do have any questions about any of the cards that were pulled tonight. Please reach out. I am here for you. Never give up on yourself. Never. You are a part of a huge network. A network that none of us are ever actually going to be able to fully comprehend, because the one truth in the universe is that all we will ever be able to truly know is that we will never truly know. So don't give up on you. Speak with your heart. To thine own self be true. Love you all. Good night.